400 stanzas. On the Middle Way. With commentary by Gyel-tsap. Chapter 16. Refuting remaining counter-arguments. These chapters were written so that trainees may enter the state of liberation through giving up attachment to cyclic existence. Without ascertaining the meaning of emptiness as it actually is, one cannot develop enthusiasm for omniscience or even for liberation through the giving up of attachment to cyclic existence. The emptiness of inherent existence of all phenomena frightens those who have not heard sufficient teaching and are bound by the noose of clinging to a self. As already described, the path leading to freedom from worldly existence should therefore only be explained after first making the mind ready, in the way that the death of a king's beloved queen was conveyed to him.
Even though things are empty of inherent existence, they appear not to be empty and are thought of in this way for various reasons, such as considering them truly existent. All of the preceding 15 chapters refute these reasons individually. Assertion: if the chapters were written for these purposes, things are established as not being empty, since the author and the subject matter explained by the 15 chapters exist. Also indicates the words that express the meaning of emptiness. Therefore, it is incorrect to speak of the emptiness of inherent existence of things.
Answer: according to us, the words subject matter and author are imputations dependent on one another and do not exist independently. Whatever arises in dependence does not exist inherently. Since the author, subject matter, and words are all dependently imputed, these three also do not have inherent existence. Thus emptiness is well established. Assertion: if all of these were empty, the senses and their objects would be like donkey's horns. But since they exist, things do exist inherently.
Answer: if on account of the presumed flaws concerning proof of emptiness, the words and so forth were not empty because one has to accept their existence, why would emptiness not be established through flaws concerning your proof that things are not empty? It follows that you should certainly accept emptiness because you accept the interdependence of the words and so forth. You cannot establish your own thesis merely by dismissing the proponents of emptiness. Opponents asserting that things exist truly must refute the other's thesis of emptiness as well as prove their own thesis that things are truly existent. You, however, are simply engaged in dismissing the proponents of emptiness. If on the one hand you like disproving the thesis of others, why do you not like proving your own? You should. To proponents of emptiness, whatever proofs you adduce to validate your own thesis remain as unestablished as that which is to be proved. You should therefore give up adherence to the thesis that things are inherently existent. Assertion: the thesis put forward by proponents of emptiness is not feasible since when thoroughly investigated, it is illogical. Something which does not exist as a knowable object is not an assertable thesis. Therefore the thesis put forward by proponents of true existence is established.
Answer: no thesis is feasible when investigated by the reasoning that analyzes the ultimate. Since negated by this reasoning, truly existent oneness, otherness, and ineffability asserted by any opponent are also not theses. Therefore one should not assert even the slightest true existence. Assertion: the reason proving the pot empty of true existence is meaningless and ineffectual, for wherever there is a directly perceptible pot, that truly existent pot is, according to us, established by direct perception.
Answer: in relation to the thesis of proponents establishing emptiness of true existence through reasoning, reasons appearing in their opponents' textual systems are unacceptable, because they are engaged in rejecting them. Question: then are reasons from these textual systems inappropriate in all cases? Answer: elsewhere there is no incompatibility, since they pertain where both protagonists' tenets are similar. Assertion: you proponents of emptiness accept the entity of emptiness, and since emptiness is not feasible unless it relies on non-emptiness, things are truly existent.
Answer: it follows that the existence of emptiness does not establish its opposite, that there is true existence. If emptiness were truly existent things as its basis would be feasible, but as there is nothing that is not empty of true existence, how can emptiness be truly existent? Its basis cannot possibly be truly existent. Why, when the basis does not have true existence, would the antidote negating it be truly existent? For emptiness to be truly existent, its basis would have to have a truly existent nature. fundamental wisdom says, and so forth. The two truths says, assertion, since there is not even the slightest emptiness, it cannot constitute one's thesis. Nevertheless, by accepting the absence of a system of one's own as one's system, one is asserting a thesis. Since there is no thesis which does not depend on a counter-thesis, truly existent things the counter-thesis exist.
Answer: if we had any thesis of existence by way of a thing's own entity, the absence of a thesis would in entity be a thesis existent by way of its own entity. However, since we do not have any thesis of existence by way of a thing's own entity, a counter-thesis dependent upon that is also impossible. Moreover, all theses concerning truly existent things have already been refuted above. Thus, if the absence of a thesis does not exist by way of its own entity, what truly existent thing could constitute the counter-thesis? Neither thesis nor counter-thesis have even an atom of true existence. By this we refute truly existent emptiness as our system, which should not, however, be interpreted as showing that we have no system. Assertion: there are truly existent things, because specific things like fire and so forth exist. Answer: how can fire be hot by way of its own entity? It cannot, for there are no truly existent things. Above it was said that even hot fire does not exist inherently. Stanza says, this point has already been refuted. Moreover, even if, on seeing the thing which is fire, it were appropriate to refute the statement that fire does not exist truly, who sees the elimination of fallacies associated with the true existence of